does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review charged by BoardGameExchange.com. There, it's only board game rental website. And today I have yet another special Kickstarter review. Today I'm going to be checking out Class Prez from Red Island Games. This is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, and it'll take you about 30 minutes to play. And in Class Prez, you will take control of a candidate trying to become the class president. Well, how do you do that? Of course, you have to convince all the different cliques that you are the best candidate. Sound intriguing? Let's open it up and see how it plays. Alrighty then, we're going to go over what comes in Class Prez. First and foremost, I want to mention this is the promotional copy of the game. Obviously, what you see here is not going to be indicative of the final work, graphic design-wise, art-wise, component-wise. I don't know what they're going to change, but I imagine quite a bit's going to be changed. So, let's take a look. First and foremost, we got our handy-dandy rule book. As you see, it's just printed out, so yours is going to be a lot nicer than this. The rule booklet is a bit confusing, just the way some things are worded. However, you can figure out how to play the game. It's just like, oh, why is that worded so wonky? But I've been assured that this is going to be fixed by the time the game gets to you, so no worries about that. Next, you are going to have your tokens. This is where the management element of the game, one of the worker placement management elements of the game is really going to come into play. You're going to have a certain number of tokens. And if you run out of these tokens, you're going to have to move a token from a different spot. Which can be one of those things where it's like, I don't want to move that, but I have to move it. But we'll get more into that in a minute. Last but not least, you're going to get cards, because this is a card game. So let's go over the 2 kinds of cards you're going to get. First and foremost, you are going to get your cliques right here. And you're going to have 4 different types of cliques in the school. You're going to have your nerds over here. You're going to have your preps right there. You're going to have your jocks, and then you're going to have your goth. And in order to win Class Prez, you are going to need to be really cool with the top levels. So you have down here, you have your wannabes. You got your wannabe jock, I guess your wannabe nerd, your wannabe prep, what have you. Then you got your second in command, and then you have your head honchos. The big dogs are up here. So you're trying to work your way up the social ladder so they will vote for you. But it's not that easy, because in order to work your way up, you're going to be needing to do favors for these people. And as you can see, these are some of the cards you're going to get in this pile, which we're going to get into. There's nerd favors and jock favors and prep favors and goth favors. And there's also special cards. There's the class clown, which is really, really good. There's rumors revealed, which will let you take a card from your opponent's hand and have another action. There's the hall monitor, which is bad for your opponent. And there's like a principal's office. There's a bunch of different things. One of the really, really nice ones are the agenda cards, because in this game there's going to be 2 main phases. You're going to start with your agenda phase, and then you're going to have your action phase. And in your agenda phase, if you have one of these cards in your hands, you're going to be able to lay it down. So this is jock support. What that means is if you have this card, and you can only have one of these cards in front of you at a time, you will be able to pay 1 less favor to work your way up the chain. So normally, to get down here, it would cost you 2 favors to put your coin right there, to put your token there. And then here it would cost you 3, and then here it would cost you 4. So obviously, if you have this card in front of you, it'd be 3, 2, 1. So this is a really nice card to have. Also, another thing that makes it kind of difficult to work your way up is your opponent is going to be working their way up as well. So let's just say that, this is right here, and you want to work your way up the prep chart. What you're going to have to do is, instead of paying just 2 right here, you would have to pay 3 because your opponent's already there. And likewise, you have to pay 4 right here, and all the way up here, you would have to pay 5 favors to the preps, which is a lot of favors considering normally you're only going to have about 6 cards in your hand. So it will be kind of difficult. The other major cards you need to know about are up here. These are going to be the event cards. Now these cards are incredibly useful, but they're going to be kind of costly. In order to put one of your tokens up here, you're going to need to spend your action for that turn, and then you're going to need to discard 2 jock favors, and then you can put your coin here. We'll just do the goth. So let's just say, for my action, you only get 1 action. I'm going to discard 2 goth favor cards, and then I'm going to put this card right here. Now what this says is, call in a goth favor to choose a card from the discard pile to add to your hand, and draw a card from the top deck. So whenever I call in this favor, what I'll be able to do is pick out a card from the discard pile over here, and also draw a card from the top to my hand. So it's very useful. But the thing is, You can only put this here if you have at least one token on one of these, well, obviously it'd be the nerds, but on one of these guys. And the thing is, when you call in the favor, though, that's going to hurt you a little bit. So you have to discard one of these tokens. So it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. Let's go ahead and just do a mock hand so you can see exactly how the game works. So we're going to start. You're going to be dealt 6 cards. And you're going to look through them and see if you have anything that's agenda-wise. We don't. So next we're going to move on to your action phase. And during your action phase, you're going to have a couple different actions. First and foremost, if you want to, you can remove a token from any spot on the board. So that would just be your action. Because you are going to run out of tokens every once in a while and be like, oh crap, I need to just take one. And as much as you're not just going to want to waste your entire action taking this off, you might have to. Next, if you don't have any good cards, like, I don't like any of these cards, like, let's pretend you're already at the top of the goth tree and you have 3 goth cards, you can discard up to 3 of your cards and then you'll be able to redraw back those 3 cards. Next, you're going to play an action card and pay its cost to apply its effect. So you'll have various different action cards with different things. This is a Scandal, which is essentially going to count as a wild suit card. Like I mentioned, there's the Hall Monitor. There's a bunch of different things. You're going to be able to discard a certain number of cards and gain favor. So that's what I'd probably do on my first turn. I'd look at my hand and say, oh, looky there. I got 2 preps, 2 goths, but you know what? I'm going to go for those goths first. So I'm going to discard these 2 cards, boom, and gain my goth favor right there. So that would be my turn, and then the next player would take their turn. And let's see what he's got. He's got 2 jocks. He's got 3 jocks. Oh, he's got nerd support, so he actually would have set this in front of him on his agenda. But anywho, he'll just go ahead and do the jocks right there, and he will pay 2. And then we're going to draw back up to 6 cards. And then we will rinse, wash, and repeat doing different agendas. And eventually, once you got one of your tokens up here, for part of your agenda is you can do this event, and that will help you out. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be racing to try and get up the board. And the first player to get 3 of their 4 tokens on the top will be the winner of Class Prez. And that is how Class Prez is played. Alrighty then, Class Prez from Red Island Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game is not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, it is a 2-player game. If you're looking for more players, then obviously this isn't going to be your cup of tea. Also, the art is going to be a big turn-off to some people. I personally didn't mind the art. My wife wasn't the biggest fan of the art. I kind of liked it, honestly. But it is going to be either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it kind of art style. Last but not least, the rule booklet is a tad bit hard to read, but I've been assured that that is going to be something that's going to be fixed in the final version, so that's really just a small nitpick that you won't need to worry about. Moving on to the pros, though, really enjoyed Class Prez. It is going to be a 2-player game that me and my wife can get out whenever we want to, and it's going to be nice, it's going to be quick, we're going to know how to do it. It's incredibly simple to pick up. It says for ages 14 and up, and I don't know why it's for ages 14 up, because it is a very simple concept. There's some light hand management there, some light worker placement. You gotta constantly be making sure you got enough well, in the prototype, coins, but enough chips, and you have enough chips so that you can convince all the different leaders, because I've come to the point a couple times where it's like, oh, I'm about to win, and like, no, I don't have any chips, I can't win this turn, and then my wife turns around, or buddy turns around, and they end up winning the game that turn, I'm like, no! I really did enjoy Class Prez. It's very light, very fluffy. This is a very fun game. Very easy to teach. This is like that next step up. If you're like trying to teach some younger kids, some 10, 9, 8-year-old kids how to play games, you start them off obviously with the ticket dry, that sort of thing. But if you want to get them into the hand management, worker placement, then this is going to be a very nice introductory step on there. There is some strategy here. You definitely are going to want to hold on to some cards, and you're definitely going to be paying attention to how many favors you have and putting your coins here or your chips here versus here. A lot of that going on. Overall, I definitely enjoyed Class Prez, and if you're looking for this kind of game, you should definitely check out the Kickstarter link below. Tell them Bowers Game Corner sent you. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was the review for Class Prez. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bowers Game Corner. Also check out BoardGameExchange.com, the nationwide board game rental service.